Okay, I'm going to bond a new blade on this shaft. This has had a blade removed from it. The first step I'm doing is to make sure the shaft is prepared, make sure it's sanded enough, make sure it doesn't have any glue bumps, and make sure it doesn't have any debris on the inside. You want to tip it up and tip anything that might be on the inside of the shaft out. We're going to use this pitch check that we have, we send out. It's fairly easy to assemble. You can bolt it all together with easy instructions. And you set it up and level it using these two front bolts, which I've done. It comes with a torpedo level that you can place on there and make sure that it's totally level. What you do to bond the blade on is, once you've got the shaft prepared, you've also dry fit the blade on to make sure that you know how far it's got to go on. I've got a line here that I've put on there to make sure the blade goes on as far as it needs to. And I sort of dry fit it and line it up correctly, just to sort of rehearse how it's going to be done and to make sure there's not going to be any issues once I put the glue in there. Once I've done that, I'll take the blade out, take the blade off, and I've got ready our 50 milliliter glue cartridge. It's a 2-part urethane. I take the old tip off, install the new tip, and what I do is I've got some paper towels ready, and I'll put some rings of adhesive right around the shaft. I'm turning the shaft as I go, rotating it, and putting a bead all the way around the shaft. I'll do this 4 or 5 times. I want to make sure I've got enough adhesive on the outside of the shaft, so when I put the new blade on, it's got plenty. All right, I've got 6 on there. That's about right. You can do it by eye. Sometimes it comes out a little quicker and you can make a thicker bead. So I'll turn the shaft. I've got it oriented with a wear plate up. That's where the level's going to go. I install the blade onto the shaft and I'll pull it on. I'll take my hand and make sure it's pulled on as far as it needs to go. I've got a mark there that I'm watching. Then I'll just quickly take some of the excess glue off without having the blade slide. And then it sits on the fixture right up against the bolt. There's an end bolt you also install. And that puts the blade on the short side of the blade. With a big blade, it goes over the short side of the radius about 1 inch. So, or 2 to 2.5 centimeters. And what I'm ready to do now is to pitch it. The blade has been glued on. And I come down to this end with a level. And I can actually turn the shaft inside the blade to get it to the right level. The glue will allow you to do that. Now I've got it set right at 0 degrees pitch. You can also use a pitch meter if you want to put some pitch on the sleeve. But this one is set at 0. I've got it set up. Once I've got it set, I like to not bother it. So I'll do one and I'll let it set up, leave it right on the rack, and then when it's cured after 10 or 15 minutes with this adhesive, you can remove it and then be ready to do another one.